Okay, today we are going to be looking at storytelling in your mixed media. And this is a page that I made about Mabel, and she's the bird. And we have the Geico man and the sheep lady. And this is such a fun way to tell a story in your art journal or magazine collage page. So today we're going to do a fun project with these kind of hip mod people. I have everything for this storytelling video was based on that woman who is really cool. She's kind of like 1960s mod. So the next thing I did was I went ahead and I looked up some patterns and colors and textures that would go with that. And I found this this screenshot that I could take, and I went ahead and I made some backgrounds that would go with it. I show you how to make all these fun backgrounds in the Collage Sheets video if you want to take a peek. And then I used an old page from a book to actually use as an additional piece of background for this. And now we're heading into the actual storytelling part of the project. Okay, so last night I got all the people ready, and now we're gonna look at sticking them down. So I was looking at this sheep lady, and I think I am going to, I had originally thought maybe I'd make her a big sheep head, but I think I'm going to come right around the little sheep head so that she'll tuck right into there. We've got our background that's super cute, that's kind of there. And this lady, the bird lady's doing good. So I'm going to use, I know it's here somewhere. Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo glue stick. And a lot of times, just as a little tip, I have to do some finagling, but a lot of times what I'll do is use a glue stick, and you can use Elmer's, you can use Yoo-hoo. Diane Reevely has a good glue stick. But if you use a glue stick that isn't wet like Mod Podge is, and you won't get as much wrinkling with it. So if you'd like to avoid some wrinkles, which on this one I might want to avoid some wrinkles, you can use Mod Podge. So I'm going to cut the biggest amount that I think I would like. So let's cut off, we know we're going to cut off the bottom of this sheep, right? Okay. So that's out. And see, I think if I keep this too big, it's not going to look realistic. But if I come in and I just do this little sheepy head, I think that it will make it look more real, right? So let's real quick cut this out. You can kind of see, it's kind of like his first roll of hair, her first roll of hair, excuse me. I'm going to go a little over because the other side's a little over. And then we'll see if we want to take the top part off too. Okay, there we go. And I think we leave her neck, right? So I like that, and I do think I want to take off that top, so we're going to take off that top too. Okay, perfect. All right, so now I think she's super cute, and it's also the brightest part of the sheep head. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this lady's face. Let my scissors go. Right, because I want to use the background. I want to use her head for the glue stick, but I don't want it to stick out beyond the sheep's head. Okay, so now we're going to do this. Get this stuck on. that kind of in the middle? I think it's okay. There we go. Maybe that helped just a wee bit. With the glue stick, the nice thing is you can move it a little bit. Okay, so let's get him on here. So I want his neck to be super long because I want to get his head up in there. So we are going to, let's see, which side of his neck do I want to cut off? I think I want to cut off a little bit on this side. Okay, let's see. Ooh, see, now that fits perfectly. Okay, so now this time we're going to put it on this part. And this helps these guys stick together, right? So there is one other thing I want to do with this man, and I will show you that in a wee second. All right, we got to scooch this over. Get that lined up. So I like how that's going. All right, so now we have our people all hooked together. And I like the background party, okay? So I can do a couple things. I can put this bird lady over here, and you're going to see a lot more of the background party, and kind of stack these guys up a little bit over here. But I feel like then these arms are crossing kind of in a weird way, right? So I do want this. I can move her over some, and I can make her as tall or as short as I want, but I want to kind of get his green head up here. Let's see. I can still just have a peek of his feet there, but he's super wide, right? So this is kind of a 1980s outfit. You see the baggy pants and stuff. So let's go ahead and cheat his pants a little bit, right? That'll get us, we still want him to be a little, not totally straight, but let's cheat a little bit of his pants up to here. We're not going to see much of this other side, but we'll cheat that side too while we're here. Right? And anytime you think, well, it'll look weird where his arms meet his jacket, always think to yourself, it's a guy with a lizard head, right? Like, so what they're going to not be looking at is how his arms meet his jacket. What they're going to be looking at is the fact that he has a lizard head. Okay, so let's see how that went. I think I'm going to want to cut off some of this arm too. Okay, so we got him up here. We got her down here. See, we're seeing more of that green in the background already. Kind of the hip, cool 60s background. Okay, so we are going to get a little bit of this off. Because that is a very big suit. There are some serious shoulder pads going on there. Okay, so let's do it on this side too. The 80s were a time of huge shoulder pads. Okay. All right. So now we can see more of the green back there. I like how they're hitting. Okay, let's get our bird lady in here. Can we still have, oh, look, and she can go right around there. I love that. Maybe pull her down a teeny bit. We can either, there, she can go in there. Okay, I like her. We can go ahead and stick her down. Oops, her little neck thing got out of the way. That's okay. It'll be okay, I promise. Let's do this. Be a little bit more careful. go. We're gonna get her thing down. You won't even notice that. Now we're putting her kind of off the page a little bit so we can see some of that green background. See, you can't even see that. Now we gotta get her beak over. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right. So now I'm kind of fighting. I have a flippy part in the back of this page, so I'm kind of fighting that as I'm doing this. Okay, so we have her in there. Let's get him. So if he's going right there, I kind of want him to cover that blue spot so it's not distracting. So I can do that by pulling him down and putting his thing over, or pulling him up and moving him over. Let's see what we like better. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, we'll put him right there. So his kind of necky thing is going to be covering the blue dot. And we can paint the blue dot white or whatever, but it's just a quick page. This is a fun one, just to show you how to do storytelling, right? Right there. We'll kind of straighten him up a wee bit before we stick him down really good. Okay. And then we'll do her. Always looks really weird from the back. But we want to get up on her ears because we don't want them flapping around. And this arm, I think, is going to be off the paper, but let's still get some good stickiness on that part. Okay. And I kind of want her to be in that little dip under his chin. Okay, so there we go. The other nice thing about using glue sticks is you don't have to wait for them to dry totally, because they'll be dry and stuck on here in a minute. And then I will be doing some outlining and doing a bunch of stuff, and I will show you the final project. After I let you go, I realized I wanted to do some additional little things with the mixed media collage pages that we made. And so I went ahead and put some on there, and nothing exciting happened except for Kitty. Hi, honey. Yeah, what's up? What are you doing, Bubba's? Huh? You have no idea how many of my videos I have to edit out the kitty. So for this one where we're telling stories, I figured I would throw in the story of how Betty came to help me do my project. Okay, so I finished all my doodles last night. And I went around and I outlined the figures using Black India ink. And I'll probably grab a little bit of glue stick to stick her sleeve down, which seems to have gotten a little unstuck. Okay. Sometimes I don't think of glue sticks as much as I do to add the pressure, because I think glue sticks require pressure where most of the glues, Mod Podge and stuff I use don't. So what I did was, remember at the very beginning I showed you those patterns that we saw with the 1960s mod, And this was a design that I thought went really well. And then what I did was I had a whole story in my head about this couple who was at a party in the 60s, and Mabel came. She has her little pocketbook, and she's such a nosy bitch. Get it? With her little nose, right? Anyways, most of mine are not this big a story, right? I did this specifically to show you how you can kind of have a story in the back of your head. This one was more of a story about the storming of the Capitol, maybe a little bit of a bird for some feelings. I put the date of the sedition underneath here so I would have it for my journal. And then I did some journaling about my thoughts about it. You can tell it's the Capitol, but I don't know that you can, like, I wasn't trying to make a story the same way as I made a story to show you how you can do that. The nice thing about doing a story, though, in your head is that it gives you an idea. Like, I'm getting ready to do some circus pages. So then you think about a circus and you think about, okay, that's going to be, you know, clowns, creepy looking people. My circuses are creepy. Zoo animals, things like that, that I could then start to collect. Or I'm getting ready to do a black and white one where then I want to have like color, and I might think about, you know, what are creepy background colors. So when you kind of have a story in your head, you can start to accumulate pieces that are going to match that story. And it doesn't have to be this specific, but I made this one this specific so that you could understand the storytelling aspect. So hopefully that helps. Tara Jacobsen, Artsy Fartsy Life.